Let's discuss numericals that were asked in GATE examination from this particular topic of water flooding. Let's look at the question. For a water flood operation in a one-dimensional reservoir, the following data are given. Porosity is given, cross-sectional area is given, horizontal distance between the producer and the injector well is given, injection rate is given, and the slope of fractional flow curve is also given at the shock current. Now we need to find out what would be the cumulative water volume injected at breakthrough. Okay, again we know this will be the formula that we will be using for calculating my cumulative water volume. Okay, where W injection is my cumulative water volume. You can see that now taking W injection as the subject of equation, I will be getting around A5x upon 5.615 upon DFW upon DSW. Okay, on placing all the values, I will get the answer as 3.5 into 10 raised to 5 barrels. All right. Okay. Now let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2016. Heavy oil reservoir is being flooded with a line drive. The fractional flow of water is found to be 0.75 barrel per barrel at water saturation of 60%. A polymer solution with twice the viscosity of water is used as a displacing phase. Assume the Relpom curves for water flooding and polymer flooding are the same. We need to find out the fractional flow of polymer solution at a saturation of 60%. Okay, again a very simple question. We know that fractional flow of water is 0.75 at 60% water saturation, and my fractional flow of water can be written as 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon m. Okay, now on placing 0.75, I will get my mobility ratio as 3. Okay, now we know the mobility of ratio is my ratio of the displacing phase to the mobility of the displacing phase to the displaced phase mobility. And now now the mobility ratio can be written as this. Okay, now we know that it has been given that viscosity of water has been increased 2 times because of polymer being added to the solution. Okay, now because of that my mobility will now go down by half. Okay, that means initially it was 3, and now because my mobility, because my viscosity is in the denominator part, now my new mobility ratio would be 1.5. Okay, all right, now again placing again we same formula, that is fractional flow of water is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon m. Okay, now instead of 3 which we are putting initially, now I will place 1.5. now on placing 1.5 my final answer would be 0.6. okay, the fractional flow of water will be 0.6 when I am using a polymer solution at saturation of 60%. all right, okay, now let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2017. The Relpom curves are shown in the following figure for a water oil system in the porous media. SW is the water saturation and Kr is the relative permeability. And the curve 1 is a relative permeability of water and curve 2 is a relative permeability of oil. Assuming that the porous media is at irreducible water saturation initially, the maximum possible recovery of the oil by water flooding has to be found out. Okay, now from this figure only you can see that this will be my coherent water saturation or the irreducible water saturation, and this will be my residual oil saturation. Okay, where 0.8, that means my residual oil saturation will be 1 minus 0.8, that will be equal to 0.2. now my recovery factor, we know the formula of recovery factor, which will be equal to my initial oil minus the residual oil divided by initial oil. Okay, now on placing all the values, I will get my answer to be 0.733, that is my 73.3% would be my answer. All right, okay, now let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2018. A fractional flow curve is given for a core for which the irreducible water saturation is 0.2 and the residual oil saturation is 0.3. The initial water saturation in the core is 0.3. Okay. If the Welch method is applied to find the breakthrough saturation and the fractional flow of water at breakthrough, which point should be used in the figure to draw tangent to the fractional flow curve? All right. Now, as shown in the as given in the question, my irreducible water saturation is at 0.2. Okay, but my initial water saturation that I am beginning my water flood, it's at 0.3. Okay, so in the theory part also I have discussed that when in this case what I do is that I will plot a line. Okay, from 0.3 I will plot a vertical line towards the fractional flow curve, and whatever point I am intersecting or whatever point I am getting by that vertical line, I will now draw a tangent from that particular curve, from that particular point. Okay, so I have to draw tangent from 0.4 which is given in the figure. Okay, so my option D would be the correct answer to this particular question. Which one of the following phenomena encountered during flooding is desirable for increasing oil recovery? Okay, that means we need to increase the oil recovery. So first option is viscous fingering, which is wrong. Okay, viscous fingering will not increase my oil recovery, rather it will decrease the oil recovery. Formation damage, again it is not desirable for us because formation damage leads to lesser recovery. Increase in mobility ratio, it's again a wrong term. My decrease in mobility ratio is favorable case. So final answer is decrease in the capillary pressure, which is correct for this particular question. This was asked in GATE 2018. The Relpom curve for two rock type X and Y are given in the figure. SW is the fractional water saturation. Which one of the following statement is correct about wettability and consolidated nature of the two rock types? Okay. Now, from the figure only you can see that, as we know that if I am having a more consolidated rock versus a less consolidated rock, if I am comparing the initial water saturation, okay, initial irreducible water saturation or initial water saturation, okay, for more consolidated rock, my initial water saturation will be more, okay, as compared to that of less consolidated, because when I am talking about more consolidated rock, that means it will have smaller pore spaces, and when I am having smaller pore spaces, this indicates that my coordinate water saturation or the irreducible water saturation will be more. Coming to second case, that is for wettability case. Now let's see if I'm plotting a Relpom. Okay, sorry, this is for a water wet system I have plotted. Okay, and same plot if I'm going to plot for a oil wet system, then my relative permeability will be this point. That means the point where I am getting this crossover will be comparatively at lesser water saturation. Okay, over here, that is for this red color indicates for a oil wet system Relpom, oil wet relative permeability curve, and the green color indicates for water wet. Okay, so you can see that for a water wet system, my crossover point is at comparatively larger water saturation, whereas for oil wet system, my crossover point is at a lesser water saturation. Okay, over here X is less consolidated and mixed wet as compared to Y is more consolidated and water wet. Okay, this is the correct answer. Why? Because X, over here you can see that for X my coordinate water saturation is less, and if my wettability also, you can see that my crossover point is comparatively at a smaller water saturation, whereas for Y is more consolidated because my coordinate water saturation is more for the case of Y, and it is water wet in nature. Why water wet? Because my crossover point is farther away from the 0.5 saturation. So that's why option C will be correct. Let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2018. It's a very good question. A dry core was subjected to the mercury injection test in the laboratory. Following details are obtained. Porosity is 0.2, FVF is given, oil API is given, specific gravity of water is also given, hydrostatic gradient is given, sigma cos theta at reservoir condition is given as 26 dyne per centimeter, and sigma am cos theta and the laboratory condition is given as 367 dyne per centimeter. Okay, am means my air and mercury interfacial tension, where average drainage area is given as 80 acres. Okay, and this particular table was obtained from the capillary pressure at determination at laboratory condition. Okay, now we need to find out, we know the formula of Tc is equal to 2 sigma cos theta r, and the average water saturation for the productive column is 0.25. The original oil in place in the productive column where saturation of water less than 0.5 has to be found out. Okay, now let's plot a figure over here. So this is capillary pressure versus saturation. Okay, over here this is given in the table, it is given as mercury saturation. Okay, now if we want to calculate it in the water saturation term, okay, so I will do 1 minus mercury saturation, then I will get my water saturation. Okay, so this can be written as 0.99, this can be written as 0.75, 0.5 can be written as 0.5, 0.7 can be written as 0.3 of water saturation, and 0.85 of mercury saturation can be written as 0.15 of water saturation. Okay, now I am plotting over here. Okay, same thing I am plotting over here. So PC versus water saturation is given. Now at 0.25 water saturation, sorry, at 0.15 water saturation, I know 2000 psi is my recorded capillary pressure, and at 0.99 water saturation, my capillary pressure is 10. Okay, all right. Now we need to find out the productive column when it is less than 0.5. Okay, less than 0.5. I need to find out the productive column. So my height of the productive column will be this. So that means I will take the corresponding capillary pressure at 0.5 water saturation, that is 30. Now my delta PC at laboratory condition, that means I will find out my productive column. Since my productive column is between this point, so my difference in the capillary pressure will be 2000 minus 30, so 1970 psi. But this pressure I have obtained at lab conditions. Now I want to find out what would be the capillary pressure at the reservoir condition. For that I know the formula. The delta P reservoir equal to delta P lab into sigma cos theta reservoir divided by sigma cos theta upon lab. Okay, this is the formula that I will be using. Now I will be placing the values. So my delta PC or the capillary pressure of the reservoir will be 139.56. Now we know the formula of PC is equal to 0.433 into del rho into H. Okay, now PC as we obtained 139.56 is equal to 0.433 into 1.1 minus 0.865. Again in the question in degree API it has been given, so I converted it into my specific gravity. So my answer is 0.865. So 1.1 minus 0.865 into H. So my height that I am obtaining is 1371.6 feet. Okay, now once I have this, so I know the formula, which is 7758 AH5 into 1 minus SW upon VO. So on placing all the values, I will get my final answer to be 106.4 million STB. Okay, so my final answer is 106.4 million STB. Let's move further. Which one of the following denotes a regular force spot? Again, for regular force spot, we know my injector will be outside and there will be one producer well in the inside. Okay, so my answer A will be the correct one. Three reservoirs PQR have identical geometry and rock properties. The plot of the height of the transition zone above the free water level against the water saturation is given in the figure. Assume sigma cos theta for all the three fluid combinations remains the same. Which one of the following is the correct match of the reservoir fluids with the reservoir? Sigma is the interventional tension between the irrespective faces and theta is the contact angle. Okay, this thing I have already discussed in my theory part. Okay, where P was for a low gravity oil or a high density oil and R was for a gas water relation. Okay, so my option C would be correct over here. This question was asked in GATE 2019. Let's look at the question. The fractional flow versus water saturation curve for an imbibition process in a given core for three different inclinations is shown. PQR. Okay, so my answer would be R would be my up dip system, P would be my down dip system, and Q will be the no dip system. I have discussed this thing in my theory session. Let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2019. In an oil reservoir, the residual oil saturation in the volume flooded with polymer solution is 20%. The initial water saturation is 20%. The volumetric sweep efficiency is 50%. The maximum possible recovery factor for these reservoirs has to be found out. As we know, my recovery factor will be the product of displacement efficiency into my volumetric efficiency. Now displacement efficiency is equal to my initial oil minus residual oil divided by initial oil. Okay, now as given in the question, 0.8 is the initial oil minus 0.2 upon 0.8 into 0.5, where 0.5 is my volumetric recovery. Okay, so my final answer would be 37.5% of recovery factor will be obtained in this particular case. Let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2019. In a water flooding experiment, the pressure gradients in the displacing and the displaced phase are 400 psi per feet and 350 psi per feet respectively. Assume that the displacement front is stable in the absence of capillary and gravity forces. Consider that only water flows upstream and only oil flows downstream of the displacement front. Then the mobility ratio for this immiscible displacement process is, we need to find out that. Now as we know that this is the Darcy law where Q is equal to Ka minus Ka upon mu dp by dx. Okay, we know the mobility of any phase it will be equal to K by mu. Now taking K by mu in the subject of equation of this Darcy law, I will get Q upon A into dp by dx. That means my mobility will be equal to 1 upon dp by dx. Okay, now m is equal to displacing mobility divided by mobility of the displaced phase. So that will be equal to my dp by dx of displaced upon dp by dx of displacing. The reason is we know that lambda is inversely proportional to dp by dx. Okay, so on placing the values, I will get my answer to be 0.875. Let's move further. This question was asked in GATE 2020. A unidirectional immiscible displacement of an oil is carried out with water in a cylindrical reservoir core sample. Buckley Leverett theory is applicable. The corner water saturation is 0.25. A fractional flow of water FW versus saturation curve is drawn for the process. A line drawn from a point SW equal to 0.25, FW is equal to 0. On the fractional flow curve is tangent at the point of SW is equal to 0.8 and FW is equal to 0.8 on the curve. So let's look at the curve. As given in the question, 0.25 is my corner water saturation, and corresponding to that will be FW equal to 0. And flood front saturation is given as 0.8 of water saturation and 0.8 of fractional flow. Okay. Now the average water saturation in the core sample at the time of breakthrough, we need to calculate it. Alright, okay. Now we know this will be the formula that I will be using, where dFW by dSW will be equal to 1 minus 0 upon SWT minus corner water saturation. Calculate this thing, we need to find out what will be the slope. Alright, okay. Now since the point 8 is already given in the question, see my point 8 is already given in the question, so I can find out the slope. I know the slope will remain the same till the breakthrough point. This will be my saturation of breakthrough. Okay, the slope of the line, the tangent that we are drawing from the corner water till the curve, okay, we are extending that slope to the FW equal to 1, because to find out the average saturation at the breakthrough. Okay, that means we can consider the slope to be same. Okay, whatever tangent we are drawing, we can consider that slope to be same. All right, so to find out the slope, my dFW upon dSW at saturation of 0.8, my that I will be placing will be 0.8 minus 0.8 minus 0 upon 0.8 minus 0.25. Okay, so my slope would be 1.4545. Now on placing 1.4545 in this particular equation, so that will be equal to 1 upon SWT minus 0.25. So my final answer would be, that is the average water saturation at the breakthrough will be 0.937. Okay, over here the catch was to identify this average water saturation at the breakthrough. Okay, since this was given in the question, that is at the breakthrough we need to find out the average saturation, this question was a very simple question, because already many hints were given in the question. Okay, all right, so that's all for today. Thank you. Jai Hind.